You're tuned into Marital Chemistry
2020.
We have a mission.
with your host, G-COHEN.
You see, that's why your skin looks so cool like
Exactly.
this.
Lisa.
I was thinking about this one, and I think for most people who are married, they're content with their spouse.
Richard.
But the last to get the
Yeah.
countdown and everything.
Winita.
Because really and truly, what you're going to remember like 10 years from now.
Welcome to Marital Chemistry.
Welcome to Marital Chemistry. This is G-COHEN, the most wanted, along with my wife.
Lisa.
That's right. It's just the two of us souling it out today. Richard, unfortunately, has got tied up at work, and we need to have some things I came up with her last minute. So it's just the two of us, and we're going to do our very best to hold it down for you. We did that about a year ago. No,
Yeah, we
was
did
it
that
a
in the
year
summer.
ago?
We did that
In the summer.
Yeah.
And here we are again, solo in it out.
That's it.
Luckily, we're a talented bunch.
Here we are.
Yeah.
All hands on deck.
That's right. So, I have quite a few jobs I got to do today, as usual, because I got to carry Richard as well. And we're going to do our best to carry them. And Lisa's going to try to fill in for Winita. We'll both cover their roles and do our best with that. Before we get started, I want to thank you very much for tuning in. Welcome to Marital Chemistry. Last week we mentioned to you about Anika Walters, who was involved in a motor vehicle accident in Jamaica while making her way to Montego Bay Airport, and they are trying to raise $70,000 to bring her back home because she has suffered multiple broken bones, etc., and fractured parts of her body. So we want you to participate, do what you can in the GoFundMe. So you can search her. Last time I checked, they were up to $17,000 on their GoFundMe page. So, we're urging you, because she's in Jamaica right now. No friends, no family by her side. So you know how it is when you're going through a situation and your immediate friends or family aren't there with you. It makes it that much more challenging. So reach into your hearts, reach into your wallet. If it's $5, $10, $50, whatever you can do, just to show your full love and support.
Absolutely.
That's right. You are certainly listening to Hot 1 AM, the Bad Boy of Radio. This is Marital Chemistry. And we are now talking about, how do you know if you're truly in love? Is it a gas or just infatuation, lust, all that gushy stuff? How do you know if you're truly in love? That's what we're discussing today.
It's a big one.
And we're going to dive in. We're going to try to cover for Anita. But did you know there are like 7 steps to love, Lisa?
I didn't know there were that many. I could picture there would be different levels of it, but 7, no, not so much.
Yeah, there's 7 steps. 7, 7, 7, 7. Lucky 7. All right, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight it for you, okay? So,
Here.
step 1. What do you think it is?
Of love?
Yeah.
Is that the getting to know you type?
It's appreciation.
Appreciation, okay.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is when you find the physical characteristics, appearance, and attraction. Although this seems shallow, while physical appearance may not be the most important factor in falling in love, it is still the first stage that influences
Interesting.
our decision.
And that makes sense because
Makes total sense.
right? That's what you see. Like that's you don't always just talk to somebody immediately. There's something about them that you see that brings you to them. So
Exactly, because I mean, you're not going to talk to someone you're not physically attracted to.
I hope
It may sound shallow. As the comment says, it may sound shallow.
yeah.
But I don't think much people are going to do that, right?
Human
You-
nature.
It's human nature, unless you kind of fell into it accidentally.
Yes.
Right. And then there's stage 2. I think this is the part where a lot of us get stuck at,
Uh-oh.
and we never really move beyond it.
Uh-huh.
Infatuation. I think a lot of us spend years within the infatuation stage, and we never get beyond it, and we just live comfortable in infatuation, right? You find someone, he appreciates, she appreciates, you enter into the next stage, which is interest. in wooing this potential mate. So you start wooing the person, and you know, you just never really get beyond that stage. You kind of stuck at infatuation, and yeah, you never really fall in love. But infatuation is a strong thing. It is a very
It is, and I think people
strong
get
thing.
used to the wooing. Like everybody wants to be wooed.
Exactly.
So I think that people kind of keep feeling like if they need to be wooed all the time, and that's where you can get stuck there because it's probably filling a need.
Exactly.
You know, being wanted, appreciated, and all of that.
Step number 3, stage 3. This is attraction. So, if a girl guy desires reciprocates interest in she, then he enters into the stage of attraction. He doesn't enter into the stage yet, but he doesn't have the worry about heartbreak, because rejection occurs early rather than later gives him or she an advantage to walk away from the situation before his vulnerability builds up. So right now you're just working off an attraction stage where, you know what, I like this person, you know what I mean, such and such, and you know, you're just working casually through, you know, the infatuation. You got beyond the infatuation. Now it's just, okay, I like certain qualities, but you're not fully there yet. So if something goes down, you can easily walk away, all right, without having to cut too much of a heart. You can cut a string, not a rope. Essentially, you can snip a string. You don't have to get a big knife out to cut the rope. Right? And then the 4th stage, impression. This is similar to the previous stage, in which a guy focuses on getting the girl to like him, but more intensifies. She becomes an obsession. He does everything to get the attention, ranging from buying her gifts to showing how fun, reliable he can be. While the guy isn't in love during this stage yet, he definitely steps up his game at this time, trying to win her heart.
Wow.
Or it could be a girl doing the same thing for a guy.
Yeah. I'm curious about the rest now.
Number 5. Number 5 is conviction. This is when things start to get a little more serious. So after like 4 stages, 5, you know, you mentally start to get a little bit more serious. All right? And you start to realize some things that you like about the person. You know what I mean? You start to commit yourself a little bit more. He realizes now that buying gifts, taking her out on plenty fun dates, and other superficial tactics aren't enough to sustain the growth of deepening something built on feelings or affection. He will begin to wonder if he can see himself with this girl, or she can see herself with this guy. So that is conviction.
I don't think that's a telltale sign, but we can talk more. Let's keep going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's when you start to question yourself, and you now start to say, what do I need to do? Do I need to do anymore? Is it worth me putting in more? That's what that's all about. Number 6, reaffirmation. Right? During this stage, the woman has successfully met goals of having the girl in love with him or her. Once he has the girl in this state, he will then seriously consider whether or not he wants to have a relationship with her. This is when he might disappear for a while to figure things out as he weighs out the pros and cons. Yeah, so that is reaffirmation. Last stage, the C word. Commitment. Yeah.
Okay.
Commitment. That is the last stage of knowing that you love someone.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
If he hasn't called it off and decides to stay, then this means he's ready to fall in love with the woman.
My goodness.
Yeah. Shows he's willing to be faithful, sees the future with her. The idea of commitment doesn't scare him away because he believed that she is right for him.
So do you think then that like if you miss a step,
Mm-hmm.
for example, do you think that somebody could still be in love?
I think a lot of people go into it missing all the steps. They jump from meeting right into a commitment.
Yeah.
And they kind of
Yeah.
work backward. It does happen, where we miss
Yeah.
all the steps and
Yes.
we get into the commitment and then we have to work backwards. So it does happen more often than
Yeah.
ever. And I think that's
Yeah.
a lot of relationships.
I think so too. And when you say commitment, do you
Mhm.
necessarily mean marriage or just we're
No.
together and we know it's just
It's
us
that
and that's
mental
it?
commitment of putting that person
Yeah.
equal to you.
Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of people miss it,
Mhm.
is because sometimes they're thinking so much of the commitment that
Mhm.
they sometimes miss the what it's all about and that true emotion that they're supposed to really be having or feeling, with that other person. So sometimes they're like, okay, let's commit so I don't lose you, but they're not going as far in terms of how they are connected with each other, and where their emotions are really are. Because I mean, I know that there's some people that are in quote unquote relationships, but they're not in love, and I think that's visible
That's
in a
true.
lot of in a lot of situations, right? Like
Mhm.
sometimes you see people that are in relationships, they're committed,
Fully committed. Yep, they're fully
but
committed.
it's just more to me. It's like, okay, they've just been together for
They've
a
been
while,
together for
but
a
there
while.
really hasn't been a level of change in the way they emotionally connect. That
Exactly.
you can say they went from, caring about each other to now they love each other.
And that's a serious thing, This just goes to show you how strong commitment, the C word commitment, can really be.
Yeah,
Because you can commit yourself to something but give no respect to it.
absolutely.
And I think a lot of relationship.
Yeah.
But then are you truly committed if you give no respect to it?
No,
That's-
you're not.
Exactly.
You're not.
So
You're
it's the
not.
commitment of being together, but physically being together, but
Yeah.
emotionally not together.
Yeah, and is it really a commitment if you're just there? Like, if
That's the
is
thing.
is it just sort of like, you just show up anyway?
That's the thing.
That's really what it is.
Mhm.
It's not even that you've committed. It's not even that there's love.
Mhm.
You're just
There.
This is where I am. It's a roommate at that
Mhm.
point, or
Mhm.
maybe a roommate, or what people would say friends with benefits.
Mhm.
If even that, like sometimes it's not even really a friendship if you think about it, right?
That's
like,
the thing.
and I think it's a lot of this is happening to so many people, so
Mhm.
many people, because they just kind of go with emotions. And I think it's just because of how society has been, that if somebody isn't thinking of that dream wedding, but they have somebody that's with them, they're just long term, they're good with this. So they don't even think of the in depth. Like the
Mhm.
beginning, what was the first one that you said was one of the first steps? You said was,
The
it
first
wasn't
step
attraction,
was,
but it was,
let's go back to my notes here. Let's go back.
yeah.
It was appreciation.
Appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if you think about, do you appreciate the person in your life?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, how much do you value them
Mm-hmm.
in your life? Well, because, and now I kind of see how this can tie into even, if you think of sometimes, even in arranged marriages, for example, they'll get to the point where they say they love the person, but you kind of see that the person loves them. They're appreciating that the person is taking care of them. Then, eventually you will get to that point where you probably love them, for who they are,
Well, here's the thing, though. There are different stages of love, though, because at the end of the
Yes.
day, you will love a person, but are you in love with the person the way
Yes.
you're supposed to be?
Very true.
You understand what I'm saying?
Very
Because
true.
I love my family,
Yes.
but I'm in love with my wife. That's a whole different ballgame,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
To be in love and just loving, it's total, because
Very
our
true.
core being is really to love. This is why we can come
Yes.
forward and we can just do things nice for someone we don't know.
Absolutely.
But to be in love with a person, that's a whole different experience.
Very true.
And I think a lot of people are just trained to love. And when you're trained to love, it's different from when you actually experience being in love.
In love, yeah.
Because when you are in love, this is when all 7 points
Yeah.
add up and come together.
Yeah.
Versus when you're just trained to love, these things are just, okay, they're the wheel, yes,
Yeah.
that keeps it turning,
Yeah.
but it's a whole different level to be in love.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. So, okay, can you read all 7 just again, and then we can
Okay.
kind of see
All right.
if maybe
See if we skip the stage.
yeah, or even just to kind of think about it so that the listeners can
Right.
take note again. Right?
Okay, I'll let you. I'll let you go through it.
Okay, so let's see. So the first one is appreciation, infatuation, attraction, impression, conviction, reaffirmation, and then commitment. So those 7 stages of how people fall in love, or I guess in this article specifically men, and I wonder if that's different for a woman. That's very
I
interesting.
think a lot of it would be.
I think it's pretty much the same,
Yeah.
but I feel like I could see some things being a little bit, maybe the order in which it falls could be slightly different, but I could definitely see appreciation, because I think when you can appreciate the person being in your life, it kind of warms your heart. Then you have that infatuation, like you said, which is that, with that wooing, that romantic stage where, like you said, everybody kind of you can stay at that, and it's easy to stay at that because it feels good to be wooed, it feels good to be treated, it feels good to have, reaffirmed, or all that kind of stuff. Like, that feels good. So I could see why people will get stuck on that, and sometimes that can cause problems in relationships.
It certainly does.
Right? Because now they're
does.
not really looking deeper than that self-need to be fulfilled, really
No
and truly.
expectations,
Yeah. Next is then the attraction. So definitely seeing what you're feeling towards that person helps.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then impression, conviction, realizes that buying gifts, taking out, on plenty of fun dates and other superficial things aren't enough. And I agree with that, because I remember thinking even before we got married, if everything was to go away, would I be okay staying with you? Like, capability to, I don't know, say walk, like, but is your personality enough? Are our conversations enough? Do we talk more than just, hey, how's your day? How's the weather? That sort of thing. Because that's when you realize it's deeper than all of those things, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then commitment. Well, affirmation, reaffirmation. It's a selfish move, and women often experience heartbreak during this stage, especially when men don't honestly communicate what they're actually doing. Very true. I think it's really speaking where you are, and that's about expressing yourself, your true emotion.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, this is, very good. 7 points.
7 points.
Who knew? Who knew?
When you are trying to decide where you are, refer back, do refer back. And remember, man, you can always study for yourself, and just always stay a step ahead of the game. That's the key thing. Staying a step ahead of the game and knowing where you are, so that things don't get slapped on you by surprise. Hey, we are talking about how do you know if you're in love or if it's not just infatuation. That's our topic of discussion today on Marital Chemistry. We have just wrapped up life's lesson covering for Juanita, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna dive over into family matters, and Lisa is gonna be leading us on that one.